Dan and Lee moved to the valley 12 years ago and have been building their lodge ever since. With sweat equity and unbridled enthusiasm, their farmhouse-styled lodge of plank and beam construction always has the pleasant aroma of home baking. The location, on 40 miles of river with world-class fishing, is unparalleled. Dan is the local expert on the legend of Slumach. But before we can mount our expedition, we talk about how a little elbow grease can turn dreams into reality.
What's the story of this table? Did you do this yourself?
Yeah, this is California redwood, believe it or not. And if you look at this thing, you look at the growth rate of this thing. Believe it or not, how the size of this tree, it's only 21 years old. That's how fast these things grow.
And how are you on a chainsaw?
Very poor. I'm the one that caused all the little grooves, apparently.
So this is basically what we're seeing here is the story of this entire lodge, isn't it? It's a lot of sweat equity.
Everything we put in ourselves. Like the flooring, we didn't bring anyone else in to do it. We've done everything ourselves. From cutting the beams, like there was one other carpenter come in to help us framing. And we ended up packing all the rocks in for the fireplaces and all the granite you see there. Bought it.
His side, my side. Yeah.
We just basically started building, and when someone didn't like something, we tore that wall down, and someone didn't like that, we took that down.
But it heads the whole way out.
It's an incredible lodge because it's so big. I mean, it's talk about an open concept, because a lot of people use that word as an open concept, and they throw it around, and it really isn't open, but this is amazing. I mean, you've got the kitchen there, and apart from that, it's one huge room. I could ask you if you're happy. You're both obviously happy because you're radiating happiness. Do you have a dream for the future? Where do you go from here?
I think you answer that one.
Yeah, our dream for the future is just to look after this valley. Hopefully keep it so that everyone can enjoy what we've enjoyed up here. And to me, that's my dream, is to make sure that the rest of the people in the city and that can come up and enjoy what we've enjoyed for how many years we've been up here, and just keep this place going, the history alive up here.
So the expedition is off. Dan is the team leader and his dad Freddie is second in command. Tom and I have agreed to cut our shares to a quarter each. What we are looking for is a stream that is anchored to bedrock that is hidden by dense overburden. The area that Tom has in mind is some of the roughest terrain I have ever seen in the bush. This is coastal rainforest with a mantle so thick it blocks the sky, and with a layered floor covered by decades of deadfall that could swallow a man's leg and send him cartwheeling over a ledge. This country has claimed several explorers that have come here and have never walked out. The ends of broken branches could impale a man. There are grizzly and black bear and treacherous ravines at every turn. But it is the lure of gold that brings man here. It's seductive, it's pungent, and this afternoon it's pulsing through our veins.
Hey Dan, wait up!
Sorry about that, John. As soon as I get down around this creek, my heart starts racing there, and the adrenaline starts flowing. You just start thinking of gold, and I just want to get down to that creek and see what I can find. It's really exciting.
There's nothing we don't do to get a story. This is really fantastic, and I actually believe that there's gold down here. Unbelievable, I believe it.
There is gold and various other metals all through this mountain, through these mountains. But right here, well, how much exposed bedrock have you seen? Not a whole lot.
What do you think about the way this is all overgrown?
Makes it very difficult to move around. There's no bedrock exposed, or very, very little that I've seen. And it all helps to keep the place secret.
You can see, you can pass right over it. People have, the last few years, have been flying around looking for the gold. And you can fly right over this whole area here, and you'll miss this creek totally. It cuts so deep through the valley in such a narrow swath, it's unbelievable. This is one of the only creeks around that show gold, and a lot of guys have come up and pan creeks all over in this valley, but they've missed this one, and this one shows gold. But it's so steep, and the pools are so big, the gold is not leaving this creek. So you can pan the bottom, and you won't find anything. The gold is in the deep pools.
Finally, we reached the secret valley. Is this it? The Lost Lagoon, the stuff of legends, the Pit Lake Eldorado? Dan says yes, but he thinks the water might be too high for serious panning. Why aren't we down there panning right now?
The water's too high. You just can't get in there. And it's the same reason 23 people have went missing up here since the 1900s looking for gold.
This is the kind of place that a guy might find, and he might hit the right conditions of water, not too high, and might manage to get down, and might manage to get out again too.
And you look at this rugged terrain in this creek here, a guy could slip and fall, and back then, these guys went alone. They didn't want no one falling. They didn't want no one to find the gold. So they went alone, and you can see, you get down in a spot like this, even if they found the gold.
And you know, Slumach always took a woman with him. And my theory is that he always lowered this woman down into a canyon because she was small, and he could always haul her back up, you see? And he'd lower her down, get the gold, pull her back up again, which one man can do with a small woman.
And after that, another fella come in by the name of Jackson. And Jackson come up by himself, and he actually found gold as well. And they got documented proof that he sold back in 1900 $10,000 worth of gold. $10,000 worth of gold back then, today would be worth a fortune.
I think this is an amazing story, and I'm really happy you took our crew up here. And we could share it with you.
Yeah, it's just too bad the water wasn't a bit lower. It's just one of those things that happen, and that's the whole key to this creek, is finding it when the water's dead low, and that's maybe 1 or 2 days in the year that a guy can get in.
Dan, I really want to know one thing, that when you do find it and strike a ridge, will you still talk to me?
Well, I don't know about that, John. I could be in another part of the world. Unless you're flying in another part of the world, yeah, I'll still talk to you.
Oh, this is great. Thanks, Tom.
Okay, you're most welcome.
Freddie, what do you say?
I haven't got much to say right now. Just wait.
Is it a good day?
It's a good day, excellent day. Yeah. I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, if you look over, you see that creek's just calling out for us to find the gold. You just see it.
Well, we have found our secret valley, but the water is too high to get at the mother lode that may lay at the bottom of the water basin. We decide to work the areas around the pools. So if we can just find traces of gold, maybe just a speck, then we would have reason enough to return with proper gear so we could find Slumach's lost gold mine. Looking back at the 19th century, it's easy to jump to conclusions of life and times in Canadian history. On my flight back to the Yukon Lodge, I wonder about Slumach. He was an elderly Aboriginal that, for a brief moment, found himself smack dab in the middle of the white man's gold fever. But just as history will never give us the exact location of Slumach's El Dorado, we will also never know the events that caused those shots to ring out in the woods that led Slumach into the hands of the justice system. We only know that he paid the ultimate price and became the only man to be hung in New Westminster. But I think Slumach got the last laugh by taking his secret with him. Of all of his contemporaries, his is the story that is still being told, and men still look for his gold. Is there gold in the Pitt River Valley? You bet there is, beyond your wildest dreams.